Good morning. Unity of Gainesville, how are we doing this morning? We're so glad that you all are here with us today, both in person and online, virtually joining us. Before we get started, I'd like to remind us all to silence our cell phones, please, so that we don't have any ringers going off. And do we have any newcomers with us this morning? Any newcomers for the first time? Over here, welcome. So we have a packet for you and a rose. Any other newcomers? We're so glad that you're here to join us. And other people will be given roses. The aim is you have to ask someone a question, even if you know them, if they have a rose. If you are able, please stand, and we will remind ourselves why we are here at Unity of Gainesville. We'll go through our vision, mission, and core values. They are on that wall there, and you are welcome to repeat after me. We'll start with our vision. Centered in divine love and wisdom, perfect. Together, we joyfully create a world united in positive spirituality. And now our mission, through prayer, meditation, spiritual education, and service, we put God's love into action. Core value, I am spirit-led, I am love, I am generosity, I am gratitude, I am inclusivity. And our core idea for the months of January through March is stillness and vision. Our focus is deep reflection, setting sacred intentions, and trusting divine order. Our series container is In the Silence, I See Clearly. And our anchoring thought we can read together in unison. In stillness, I remember who I am. And you may all be seated. By the way, my name is Charlotte, and I will be your Sunday service leader this morning.
Good morning, Charlotte. Hey, y'all, what's happening? Hey, hey. Welcome to the extra hour or lost hour, right? Somebody was like, how do you do it? I say, remember, fall back and spring forward, all right? So we might have lost an hour, but we're here. We gained some sunlight. I'm inviting all of us to take a deep breath as we center into our morning service. When I sound the bowl, I invite you to take a breath. We sound the bowl for the first time, affirming that there is only love. Let's allow that to vibrate in space. There is only love. Repeat after me. There is only love.
There is only love.
We sound the bowl a second time, affirming that if there is only love, then who are we? We are love itself. We are the embodiment of love, the expression of love. We are it. Repeat after me. I am love.
I am love.
We sound the bowl a third and final time, affirming that if there is only love and we are the itness of that love, then what are we to do in all that we experience? This morning we are reminded to love in all that we experience. Repeat after me. I bring love
I bring love
into everything I experience.
into everything I experience.
And so it is.
So it is. Okay. So I'm very happy to announce today that Sunithya will be joining me on the harp. And lots of encouragement. This is her first time playing with me or with anyone, anywhere. And this is her first public presentation, so we appreciate all your support. She's going to be playing glissandos to a beautiful Hawaiian piece called Lealoha. Mauna Leo. Mauna Leo. And that is a piece, Hawaiian piece, that glorifies the beautiful mountain in Maui called Mauna Leo. Lealoha no Mauna Leo Luhihi ai kili huna Kohua hui ka mai lei E kamalani kama he hukau I ka hanue E kamale kamahi wapai kalani he kalani he kalani he Ia kule aloha no mauna lau I kanani kohua hui ka mai lei e kamalani kama e hukau I ka hanue e kamale kamai wapai kalani e kalani e kalani e kalani
Can we give it up for Sunithya? What? Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. First public performance. Y'all nailed it. Okay. Yes, Sunithya. So I got to give y'all a little heads up. So there is a band that's coming okay, called the Warm Olives, okay? So it's Sanithia, Charlotte, and Sally. Y'all get ready, okay? I gotta tell y'all, every Friday night they are practicing in silence, all right? And now I'm catching, so anyway, get ready. My goodness. So almost every week I say, y'all, I want you to imagine we're gonna have a band.
Yay.
I want you to imagine what it's gonna feel like to have
The
this room.
Unity Harp Ensemble.
That's it. Now, I was thinking like a drum set, right? Somebody on a bass guitar, but we got harps up in here, okay? This is a whole nother situation. Yes, and y'all, listen, it's a hand pan coming. Listen,
Oh, can't
I'm
wait
not
for
gonna
that.
blow it up because y'all gonna be blown away. How about that? And the djembe, that's right. Star said she's with it too. All right, y'all. This is our moment in our, service where we honor all that is worth celebrating, and there's a lot. I know that somebody turned 18 a little while ago. Zoe, just wave your hands. Hey, Zoe. Happy birthday. Do y'all remember 18? Oh my goodness. Zoe, you got this, okay? It feels so intense. So we love you, Zoe. Happy birthday. Were there any other birthdays this week? Any other birthdays? Okay. I know we got Laurie Mills in the house. Oh, any milestones happened this week? Any milestones? Okay, we're here. We made it. That's a milestone. And lastly, I know there are many. Oh, we got a couple? Today is Women's International Day. Okay, it is. Yes, it is. So we're going to honor all these women up in here, okay? And, oh my goodness, Celeste, I got to give you the mic on that one.
Well, so I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the deck, but they did, I thought, an amazing job. And the other thing, they did extra stuff and didn't charge us for it. Because I asked them, I said, you've done this, you've done that. That wasn't part of it, particularly some of the things on the top railing, that kind of stuff. No, we'll just take that with the original price. But I will say one thing that I did. I made all these envelopes that said, save the deck. Guess what I just did? I crossed out deck and I put kitchen. If you haven't seen our kitchen, you got to take a look. But anyway, there's some save the chicken save the kitchen envelopes. Save the kitchen envelopes now, because now we have another episode.
I'm with the chicken. Let's save the chicken, okay? Because the kitchen makes the chicken possible. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. So we know we have many in our community who are moving through a healing journey. Some of them are not with us physically, but are streaming in. And we have all kinds of randomness that happened this week. Our beloved Christina had an accident and had emergency surgery. She's currently in Ocala. We have around-the-clock love and support that's going to her. And so we just know we have many in our community who are moving through healing journeys. Some of them are on our body temple, and some of them are emotional, spiritual, even through the grieving process. And so in our evocation, we say, there is only love. That is a radical statement. And I believe it to be true. And so if we say there is only love, that means we can give and receive some good love. Can we say good love? Some good love. I want you to rub your hands together. And I want you just to imagine just the thought of love, and then send your hands out and know this action is giving love. All you got to do is have the thought. Repeat after me. We see you.
We see you.
We know you for who you truly are.
We know you for who you truly are.
God in expression.
God in expression.
We love you.
We love you.
We celebrate you.
We celebrate you.
And we wrap our arms around you
And we wrap our arms around you.
on your sacred walk. Now, this is the important part. And so it is. And so it is. Keep those hands up. Wave at somebody across the room. What's up? What's up? I don't know you. I got to get to know you. We don't have coffee today, but it's a date. Okay? Right? I don't know your name, but I should know it by now. You know how we do. All right. So we're going to light, somebody said, get a name tag. Yes. So we light this candle as a symbol of all of our connection. So when one of us is celebrating, all of us are celebrating. When any of us are moving through a healing journey, all of us are moving. So we have this candle here as a symbol of our unity.
And we will now go through our community highlights and announcements. I'm going to make this quick because we have a newsletter. We have a bulletin board right outside. And this is managed by the beautiful, wonderful, divine Star who runs our marketing for Unity. So we're going to be brief because you just got to sign up for the newsletter. And if you don't know how, ask one of us. So the first announcement is that our Never Alone Club will be meeting next Saturday, March 21st at 1 p.m. It will be a day of games, fun, and laughter. Bring your own lunch and your favorite game. It will be followed by a coffee and dessert bar. And if you have any questions, I think Marcy Newman would be the contact for that. Okay. Our March potluck will be after service on Sunday, March 22nd. Again, the link for that is in the newsletter, so please go to the newsletter to sign up for what you're going to bring so that we're not all bringing the same thing. Yes, Rupali. This is true, so that brings me to the next announcement, is that our kitchen, as Celeste mentioned, is being renovated, and it's probably going to take about 4 to 6 weeks. You really should pop your head in just to get an idea of what's going on. And on that note, it will require donations and funds to be able to fix it. So we are shifting our focus to adding some donations for our kitchen. If you are able to give, we highly, highly appreciate it. And if you have any questions, Rupali is our point of contact for that. And there will be no blessing of the deck after service today. That's it. And if you have any questions, check the newsletter. Everything's in the newsletter. I also do want to mention that we have a prayer chaplain that is here 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after service every Sunday. Reverend Jackie Tatum is our prayer chaplain is available. Jackie Tatum is our prayer chaplain. Thank you. And we will also have prayer clinic the first and third Sundays after service, so people can learn the power of affirmative prayer. And now we will shift into our inspiration, which will be the daily word. So I invite all of us to take a cleansing breath.
That's a loud breath.
Yeah, I was like, the breaths aren't matching up when I have the microphone near my face. That makes sense. So as it was mentioned earlier, today is International Women's Day, and the daily word is about the divine feminine and honoring the divine creative feminine that is in every single one of us. We'll give you a pass, Noelle, don't worry. So it begins. I bless the divine feminine in myself and in all others. Today is International Women's Day, a time to celebrate women's achievements across societies and cultures. It is also a time to celebrate the divine feminine, which blesses all people. When I honor the divine feminine, I am recognizing God as love, compassion, and understanding, aspects that are present in everyone. The world is blessed by the contributions of those who embody the divine feminine in their words and actions, from the steeliness of protection to the softness of comfort and nurturance. I give thanks for the girls and women in my life as I lift up and celebrate the divine feminine in its many expressions. I affirm the divine feminine awakens and expands in my heart and blesses and prospers all life. And then Proverbs 31:31 says, give her a share in the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the city gates.
So today we were coming together, the musicians were coming together and thinking, well, we're going to have a blessing of the deck. And as we know, we're all thinking very seriously and deeply about Christina and Ocala and hoping that she get better soon. What I would like to do is do a blessing that's in Hawaiian, which we had planned, and then right after do a congregational Alleluia to the Pakabel Canon in honor of Christina. If you could please join us, okay? So this blessing is for health and healing and beauty, honor, and so it goes like this. Tahu ila, tahu ila, ewe ne ala pili ko olula, pututuila, ai te toila, hano lipo ita paalai, ave tahuala. Ave tahuala, ave tahuala.
We're going to, for our prayer, if it's a practice, we're going to close our outer eye. And we're going to take a deep breath and allow this breath to sink as deep as possible into our body temple. And what we're going to do this morning is we're going to send our attention to all those in our community who are in special need of this prayer. And then at the same time, we're going to hold space to all those on our planet who are in special need of a reminder that they are loved. So we're going to take a breath. In this divine moment, we affirm that all of us are are on our sacred walk, our sacred unfolding toward the perfection that already is. And that because there is only love, and because love permeates all things, we give with an open heart unconditional love to Christina, to Bonnie, to Chris, to everyone on our planet who could use a little extra love hug. And so in this divine moment, we affirm that they are perfect right where they are. Right where they are. We see the perfection that they are. And may they know that no matter how difficult the condition, that they are moving through stronger, clearer, more present, and more importantly, they are loved right where they are. We affirm this as true by saying, and so it is.
And so it is.
It is done. It's done. So this morning, we're spending time holding two things. Our service was actually going to be a blessing, the entire service. So I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it was going to be full-on participation. Every last one of us, when the time comes, we're going to participate in the blessing of our deck. We will. And so it's no way we could bless it without her being present. Right? No way. So let me tell you how Christina is. She called, I think it was Wednesday morning or Thursday morning, whenever her fall happened. And I'm hearing this groggy voice, and she says, "I'm so sorry, I won't be able to bless the deck." I said, "Christina, no, you'll get better. This will be fine, okay? You get better." And so I told her, we're going to hold off. We're going to use it with love, but whenever she comes back, we're going to do it proper, right? We're going to do it proper.
Yeah.
One of the things that we were going to do was we were going to set an intention for what we wanted this space to be and do, and the experience of those who come after. So we know that this deck served us well. And there are some of us who aren't even around in its original installation. So we're around now while this is being developed, but what our intention is, our prayer is for those who come after, right? So we are planting a seed, not just for this moment, not just for us, but for those who come. That idea is very much aligned with where we are in our world today. We're being asked to hold a reality for people who aren't even here yet. Everything that we experience is because of the seeds that were planted generations before us. I recently heard a story about a financial manager. He said that his grandmother, he's in his 60s, he said that his grandmother, they were living barely paycheck to paycheck. All they could set aside was 50 cents. She could set aside 50 cents a month, and she identified 50 cents that her husband could set aside. And so all they had was 50 cents each and $1 between them. And so his grandmother decided that they were going to figure out how to create a better future. Somehow, they had already pulled themselves by the bootstrap. They've already done the things that say this is how you achieve success. They had already done it, but it simply wasn't enough. But over time, that grandmother taught herself how to invest, how to save, what CDs were. She figured out what a 401k was. And her son was not only financially free, but was able to teach his children what it meant to not only have wealth, but maintain wealth. And so because of that 50 cent that the grandmother identified, their family's net worth is hundreds of millions of dollars. Y'all, that's just money, right? But what it demonstrates is the idea that I don't see how this can produce anything but to say, I'm going to do what I can where I am, and somehow it's going to work out. I don't know what it's going to look like. That grandmother would have no idea that there's a thing called YouTube or podcasts or financial management or financial planner or a financial advisor. None of that. You do the best you can. But here we are, generations later, because of an idea that said, I don't know how, but this is going to work. Now, the reason why I say we got to hold two truths is because that current reality, that current circumstance is very different, we hope, from what the future is going to look like. And we got to hold a brighter future beyond what we see. Now, I know all of us have gone through some kind of illness, right? Whether it was a prolonged flu, whether it was a disease, dis-ease, all of us in this room have gone through some kind of physical ailment. And when we're moving through that physical journey, y'all, nothing matters except getting better. When you wake up, your thought goes straight to that area of pain, and you do a diagnosis. Where am I today? Oh, it's still there. Somebody asks you, it's a little better than last week, but it's still here. That pain is so present. That condition is so present, it's hard to see anything. And if you have that condition long enough, something that's chronic, then we're not only holding the pain, we're also holding our impact on other people, because we don't want to be a Debbie Downer. We don't want to really acknowledge how difficult this condition is. So how are you? I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay. Because we don't want to allow that condition to inform whether or not people want to be around us. And you already know, loneliness, isolation is one of the most difficult things you can experience when you're moving through pain. And y'all, I'm talking about all kinds of pain, grieving. That sense of isolation, to feel alone, the thought that you could be alone, that yes, there's somebody here, but they're going to be gone soon. In 3 hours, they're going to go back to their life. Whatever, in that moment, no matter what, isolation becomes the concern. What I'm offering is, even in that moment, y'all hear these birds? I don't know if you can. These birds are having a good time out here. They having a full-on gossip session, okay? They talking about daylight saving times, y'all, okay? They are going for it, okay? What I'm asking us to consider is that when we're moving through even a physical ailment, especially a physical ailment, that condition can create a barrier from what is true. So when we say we hold the truth that Bonnie, Christina, Chris are moving and are a part of their sacred unfolding and are perfect right where they are, that thought is just like when it was at the top of service, all that was happening was a harp was playing, and I saw Google on this caption. It was just two harps playing. I saw Google, and there it is. Yes, Google, we talking about you. Christina's singing this sacred chant, and it says, I eat Toyota. Right? And so we're honoring how powerful this moment is. And by the way, I eat Toyota is right here. So y'all, guess what? I did not see the pocketbook. I can only imagine how much more stuff is on here. I can only imagine. I know what happens to me because sometimes I'll say something and then I'll see eyes jut over. Y'all, I can see everything, all right? So I'll see an eye jut over and I'm like, I don't want to look because I'm going to call attention to it, okay? But I know it's doing something crazy, right? What I am doing is I am calling attention to the reality that what this current moment looks like can't even be fully articulated. It doesn't make sense. In the current now, based on the practicality of this moment, it doesn't make sense to have two harps playing, to have a vibration of love so strong that the captions here Google. Y'all, right? That's what this means when I say we're to hold the truth that we are connected to something so greater and we are a part of our divine unfolding right where we are. That doesn't compute because Google is up here. Am I making sense? Right? So our job is to hold the reality there is so much better. There's something so much greater. We are a part of something so much more loving and clear and joy-filled than the appearance of separation. And y'all, I purposefully, from this platform, and I also asked our SSLs, I asked all of us, the prayer chaplains, I asked all of us not to mention or identify specific conditions or conflicts on the planet. That's just something I do, right? Now, that is not me negating the fact that those conflicts and conditions exist. That is me saying we got enough of that outside this room. That is me saying in this room, we have to hold the vibration of love that can balance the other stuff. So why call attention to it? Why call attention to it? We know it is there. And guess what's also here? Love. And when I say, when we experience, there is only love, we are it. Y'all, that's a bold, radical statement. That is the protest. That is the response to the moment. Because we know we are so much more than these bodies. We know it. We know it. We got some people in this room with some spiritual gifts. If you don't know, I'll point them out to you. Okay? And those spiritual gifts are a reminder that beyond the kneecap and the elbow and the pancreas, all the random, the names that we put on these amazing instruments that we call organs, beyond that, we're so much more. We're so much more. The best example we have of it is oxygen and gravity, right? Nature teaches us that. Nature teaches us that there's something else beyond us, this physical form. But the condition of that moment, especially when we're going through pain or grieving or whatever, the condition of that moment feels so extreme that we can't see anything other than that. And I'm here to say, y'all, that's okay. That's normal. But we can choose to have a different thought. My job is not to condemn the fact that the experience is so strong that all you can do is think of it. That's not my job. My job is not to say, all right, get over it. It's just your body in pain. Think about a different thought. Get out of here. My job is not to say, y'all, we're going to hold on to the positivity and overwhelm that pain. That's not it. What I am saying is we can acknowledge it and we can also hold the truth that we are so much better, that this is temporary, this too shall pass. I am greater than this physical body. How are you doing? I'm doing, right? The practice of acknowledging it and also seeing something greater. Okay, quick story. I say quick story and I mean long story, okay? Long story. Yeah, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Paul said we're used to it. Thank you, brother. So I gotta tell y'all, so I say that there is something greater than our physical body, right? And I know we know it to be true. We've had these moments all the time. Deepak Chopra, he has a book called The Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire. And what he talks about in that book is we call a thing a coincidence. That is our attempt to compress this really miraculous moment, right? So we can say coincidence. But what Deepak Chopra is arguing is that so-called coincidence is actually the substance of miracle. For example, thank you, Gio. Get us right in here. I got a little chilly myself, okay? I went overboard earlier, okay? Right? My feet started getting cold, so you know. The AC works though, okay? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Many of us have been hawking our little AC unit, because it's like over a decade old. Yes, Gio said don't jinx it. I don't believe in jinx. We're gonna love it, okay? We are celebrating the goodness, okay? So they work so well, everybody online, we got chili up in here, okay? So when I say there is two conditions, one being beyond the physical form, and one of the evidences that nature gives us is gravity and oxygen. The other one is this. When Deepak Chopra says a coincidence is a miraculous event, it's an occurrence that defies logic, that just is. I'll give you an example. You think of a friend, and they call you, and you say, "Oh, I was just thinking about you." That is a miracle. That is a miracle. When you're doing something, and somehow the answer emerges, or you see a billboard or a car passes, you go to Publix, the pasta you needed is right there on sale for BOGO, right? You name it. And what we do is we experience our lifetime. We go get an oil change, and the guy is super nice and says, "It's on us today." I know, right? Somebody said, "Where?" Recently, somebody told me that they went to a really nice coffee shop. It was like a boutique coffee shop, and it was like expensive coffee, like the high-end stuff. And so they're talking to the barista, and the barista says, "You know what? That order is so unique, it's on the house." Right? So these little moments, we might just kind of say, "Oh, wow, they're so nice at that spot. Oh, what a coincidence. I was just thinking about you, girl." What Deepak Chopra tells us is that is our attempt to frame Google, i.e. Toyota. That is our attempt to frame this thing that defies logic. Now, what if we step into the knowing that we are a part of a continuum that defies logic, and we say, "Oh my goodness, I was thinking about you, and you calling, we are connected." And just let it live. Don't giggle it away, right? Don't say, "Yeah, oh yeah," right? No, let's live in that. We are connected. Another example. The other day, Noelle wasn't supposed to be in the building, but she was working late, I'm sure. Something happened. She was putting that time in. And as she was leaving, the phone rang. And it was somebody who attended periodically the Unitarian Universalist Church. And they're, at the moment, they're between ministers, so they have a number of guest speakers. And I spoke there last year. So this family called the Unitarian Universalist Church and said, we need to minister immediately. And they said, actually, we don't have one, but there's an amazing guy. He was here. He's from Unity. It's the next best thing. His name is Reverend Ryan. So she calls, gets Noel. Noel calls me moments later and says, here's the number. They're at Shands. Here's the name. They've been married for 53 years. He's dying. They need help. I said, okay, got it. Thank you so much. I'm like, okay, what do I do? Call. I call. I speak to the wife. I say, hi, I'm calling from Unity. She puts me on speakerphone. The husband says, I need you here immediately. I say, I look at my clock, it's 4:30. I say, okay, I'll be there at 5:30. Okay, bet, that's great. I rush home, get a suit jacket, because the minister got to look good, okay? So I go get a suit jacket, and the whole time I'm, okay, I've been here before, I know this, I've held space, right? What am I about to walk into? I get to the hospital, and y'all know, when you are walking through the hospital, those windows are open because the nurses and the practitioners, they have to be able to see prior to that door opening. So the curtains are agape. So I'm seeing people at various levels of their surrender. This is end of life care. And of course I get lost on that floor. I needed to see that. Deepak Chopra, that coincidence is actually a divine unfolding. So I go and I meet this family. He's so happy to see me. And I grab his hand and I said, I am here. I understand that you need to talk. He says, I do. And what he goes on to say is, I need to say this to you in the presence of my wife. And he goes on to say that we've been married for 53 years. And I need her to know that I love her. I need her to know that she is the love of my life. I need her to know that I couldn't be more lucky. She gave me everything. Now, the wife is here. I'm here holding his hand. He's like looking into my eyes. And I'm holding space. And I look at the wife. I say, do you hear? She says, I hear. And so we start talking about his time in Vietnam and, things are calm, right? Then he starts talking about, things, he's feeling better. So he starts talking about the fear that overwhelmed him. That even though he was a practicing Buddhist for 10 years, even though he had gone to the Unitarian Universalist Church, even though the words that I was saying about divine love, there is no end. You're on the next phase of your journey. Even though we're talking, he understands it. 2 days ago, when it became real, the fear and anxiety of I am about to die overwhelmed him. And it freaked everybody out, him included. So my presence was simply a reminder that this is not it. This isn't it. We are so much more than these physical bodies. And y'all, I need you to hear something. He needed me there immediately. And what he needed to say was that he loved his wife. Let's take that in. What I hear and what I know is that in that time, he didn't say it enough. In that 53-year journey, he felt that that was his biggest regret. He needed a minister there. He needed his wife to witness him giving a confession, if you will. His last breath. On his deathbed, he needed to tell me that he loved his wife. How many of us assume that the people around us know we love them? How many of us assume? We got to say it. And we are so much more than these physical bodies. Because what that gentleman is going to find out is that when he shakes off this body, Shakespeare calls it his mortal coil, he's going to understand a love that permeates space and time and bodies. It's happened to all of us. A loved one has passed and we see a flower or we see a bird that's like right there and it won't stop. I was doing a service not long ago, and as we're, putting the ashes into the ground, there's a dragonfly. I see it, and it is there the whole time. And finally, I'm like, okay, y'all, can you look over here for me? That dragonfly has been here the whole time. Have y'all seen dragonflies? And the wife says, that's my husband. I say, yes, it is. What's up, brother? Thank you for being here. I'm acknowledging that love permeates beyond physical form. And that thing, that idea that we are only love, is not easily framed because I eat Toyota. Am I making sense, y'all? Right? Right? It doesn't compute. So what we're being asked to do is something that defies logic. To one, say that we're connected, as opposed to, girl, I was just thinking about you. Girl, I was just thinking about you. We are connected. To do in this moment, even if it feels like it doesn't matter or I don't want to be too intense, to say I love you in this moment. And to also trust when you feel like you didn't do it enough, this isn't the end. We are so much more than our physical bodies. We are so much more. We are so much more. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be landing the plane on this series container. So, of course, all year we're themed around nature. But for the next few weeks, we're going to land the plane for what we're calling our winter series, right? And this time is about stillness. The next one is going to be about flourishing and seeing the abundance around us. This one now, we're in a moment where this theme is around stillness. And what do we do when we're still? We go in. We contemplate, we reflect, we come to. And so in this moment of stillness, in this time, our affirmation is, in the stillness, I know who I am. That guy I was talking about, once he got calm and once he was able to say what he needed to say, in that stillness, he understood who he was. And everything I was saying about divine love, you are it, he says, I know. 2 days ago was scary, but I know. In the stillness, he knows. Repeat after me. Take a breath. In the stillness, I remember who I am.
I remember who I am.
Take a breath. In the stillness,
In the stillness,
I remember who I am.
I remember who I am.
Now, what we're going to do, honoring the fact that we were going to all do some participatory stuff, we're going to honor the tradition of participation. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. I just simply want you to breathe. And then I want you to open your eyes and look around the room without mouthing, I love you, you are loved, I'm so thankful to have you in my life, without mouthing anything. We're just going to send the intention of love. The same way that we keep our hands up and we wave at each other at the top of service, we're going to do the exact same thing, except this time, we don't need any gestures. We don't need to mouth anything. We can just simply look around the room and send love and receive love. Can we do that? I'm going to ask you to stand in a moment. For now, I want you to just simply breathe. Stand if you're able, please. Now, this might take us a while, but that's okay. We're going to devote these next few moments to just giving love. No words, no gestures, no mouthing, just give love. Please. No expectation. We just giving and receiving. I want y'all to put your hands up. Repeat after me. I see you. I know you for who you truly are. God in expression. I love you. I celebrate you. And I wrap my arms around you on your sacred walk. All right, here's my favorite part. And so it is. And so it is. It's done. And so it is. You may be seated. And so it is. Y'all feel that? Right? It always helps that the harp and the flute is behind, right? It just magnifies it, okay? I'm holding back some tears up here, okay? This music it feels like we're transported because we are, okay? All right, y'all, we're gonna shift into our giving. And remember, as we shift, we're taking all this love and putting it into this seed, because this seed does produce fruit. It does produce fruit. As we're preparing our offering, I wanna acknowledge that every donation that y'all give goes a long way, okay? A long way. Thank you so much for whatever you're able to give, whether it's time, money, whatever it is, you are loved. So I want you to take your offering and place it over your heart. Whatever it is, repeat after me. Divine love expressed in me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all I receive. All right, y'all, here it is, and so it is. So it is.
A cool morning dew, aliamai, aliamai, malihu mai hoe, Yahweh, Yahweh, pakali mai hoe, Yahweh. O no me Aliamai, Aliamai, Maliumai, Ikawe Haune, E Hahi Ayono, Iane, Iane, Iwa Iono, make aloha. Thank you.
Miss Gwen, what did we miss?
You have to have intention when you sit down that you're going to get back up. Well, first of all, Celeste and I had a wonderful surprise. She came in to say hello and looked outside our window, and there went a turkey.
A turkey?
A wild turkey. And she just walked along and went down behind, looked at the new deck, gave her approval, and went into the woods. So sometimes you're in the right place at the right time. And today we have some new friends. You want to tell them your name?
Aislinn,
Aislinn.
Winter,
And that's Winter, okay. And then our old friends are always here. And where's your sister? Oh, she's back there. And today we talked about strength. And we had the story of Goliath and David. And these guys are just about the size of David, probably. But he was able to slay the Goliath with one little stone right there. He didn't have to wear armor like the king's army did, because he said he had God inside, and that's all he needed. So whenever we meet challenges, we're going to be like David.
I see some artwork here too, Miss Gwen.
Stand up, Brooke. Brooke asked. Brooke asked if she could share, and she did a great job on her picture today.
Brooke, that is beautiful. Big boy, you had your hand up. What's up?
So when we were in Miss Gwen's class, she told us a story. She was in the wild and she saw 3 bears and a mama bear, and so the third one was just roaming around and still following the mama. And then the mama was over it, and then she stomped her feet, and then the third one climbed up the tree, and he was looking down, crying not to go down there. And then the mama stomped her feet again, and then that let him know that he could go back down. Because basically he was in timeout because he kept roaming around. So.
Thank you, big boy. Okay. Miss Gwen, you want to say anything to that?
That's a true story. We were filming, my husband and I, following this mama and her triplets. And 2 stayed right with her, and the other one, like Rez said, was roaming around doing his thing. And she stomped her feet, and up this dead tree went. And he would look over and, oh. And the other 2 went with Mom. In a little while, she stomped her feet again, and down he came. And he stayed with Mama then. And they found a hornet's nest under the ground. And she went over, they went running away. She went over and took that claw and dug down and was eating it, and the hornets were all over her face, and she would just wipe them off, and then she went and gave the baby some. But we learned that when Mama tells you to stay with her, she means it.
Okay, thank you, Miss Gwen. Lessons on top of lessons. Okay. Rez remembered time out. Okay, that's the part. That's the part he remembered. Okay. All right, y'all. We're gonna bless our kiddos, not just here, but our nieces and nephews and grandkids near and far. So let's stand if we're able, and we're gonna read together. Let's rub our hands together. Send this love together. Children, you are perfect just the way you are. The divine, magnificent outpicturing of Source. Everything you desire is yours because you and God are one. We love you, we really, really love you. All right, y'all, let's circle up. All right, Miss Gwen, the light of God surrounds us. We are light. The love of God enfolds us. We are love. The power of God protects us. We are power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, because we are divine and all is well. All right, y'all, one more thing. If we could look at the camera in the back of the room, we have loved ones who are moving through their healing journey. We see you as whole and healthy, and we can't wait to wrap our arms around you. All right, y'all, one more quick announcement.
Yes, so of course you probably already noticed that the slideshow for my Indian trip didn't happen. I got sick that day, but next week, no matter what, we're doing it. Even if I'm in a hospital bed and I have them wheel me in here.
Okay. All right, y'all, have a good week.